Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. We're ready for part 4 of our story of the Bible. Today's part of the story is a little unique in that it's not just one story that we have to tell you, but it's kind of a lot of stories put together. So I'm just going to give you an overview of the part of the story for today. Going back, we talked about in the beginning there was God. This is God's story. He was the one from the beginning that made everything that we know. We told about that time when he made everything, Adam and Eve and the world as we know it. And he walked with Adam and Eve. He talked to them. He loved them. He was in relationship with them. But then how they chose to disobey God. The devil tricked them, deceived them, and they chose to do their own thing. And that brought a separation from God. They were no longer able to be in God's presence like they were before because they had chose to do their own thing. And as time went on, many people forgot about God. They didn't know God. And God chose to destroy everything in a flood. We told of Noah and the ark, how he believed God and was saved through the ark and a lot of the animals. So after the flood, many people continued to forget about God. They lived in separation from God, far from God. And like I said, this isn't what God wants. He wants us to be close to him. He loves us. He wants to be in relationship with us. So God chose one man, his name was Abraham, to be his people. He told Abraham, I will bless your family. You will be my people. I will be your God. And through you, I will bless the whole world. God had a plan to show himself to Abraham and to his family, and through them to the rest of the world. Abraham had a son named Isaac, and Isaac had a son named Jacob, and Jacob had 12 sons, many sons. And it's through the stories about this family that we know a lot of who God is. God gave them his law, told them how they should live, what they should do. And he gave them a way that they could be close to him again. Adam and Eve were separated by their sin. So God gave them a way that if they sinned, that they could take a sheep or a bull and basically lay their hands on that animal and place their sin on that animal and then sacrifice, kill that animal. And God would recognize that as punishment for their sins, and they could be close in the presence of God again. Most of the Bible is made up of the stories of this family and God's interactions with them. Stories about Joseph and how God blessed him for his faithfulness to God. Stories about Moses and God's deliverance of his people out of Egypt when they crossed the Red Sea. Stories about David and Goliath, how God was with David when he killed Goliath, and then when he became king of the Israelites. Stories of Daniel in the lion's den. All of those stories, as we read them, we understand who God is and how we should live for him. Much of the Bible is those stories from the children of Israel. And it's all part of God revealing himself to people, to his people, and through them to the rest of the world. We'll learn next time about God's revelation of himself through his son, who actually came to earth to live among us. Hope you come back for that part of the story.